We can make
Okay,
it fun.
so Dr.
Yes.
Shruti, how are you? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the channel.
Thank you, Dr. Meenu. I am doing very well, and thank you for inviting me here.
So today I thought we should talk about autoimmune diseases. I think immunity in general is such a what do you say contemporary topic. Like everybody's so like, oh yeah, you should boost your immunity and you should take
Mhm.
supplements and you
Yeah.
should build up your natural immunity and stuff.
Mm.
So, in the middle of all that, I think one important thing that nobody discusses about is autoimmune conditions. So, I thought we could start with maybe define like what is immunity? Like,
So, how I like to describe immunity, to my patients or to someone who asks me, is
mm-hmm,
that I want you to close your eyes,
mm-hmm, okay,
and imagine you're the queen of a huge kingdom. So you have many provinces or many forts of your own, which you want to protect. They're all part of your kingdom, and
right,
obviously you have a defense. So you have an
mm-hmm,
army, you have a navy, you have an air force. You
mm-hmm,
in your army again, you have subdivisions, like you have those papa people who are on foot
mm-hmm,
soldiers, and you have people
mm-hmm,
on horses. You have
mm-hmm,
senior ranking officials on chariots, and people
right,
riding on elephants, and you have missiles, and basically different grades of protection that you have in your army,
mm-hmm,
similar subgrades that you have in your navy and your air force, right?
right,
So
mm.
all of them are working together, and their sole goal is to protect you, their queen. You can open your eyes. So the body's immunity is something like that. You have
Okay.
immunity for different organs separately. You have
Mm-hmm.
immunity for your body as a whole, and you have different
Mm-hmm.
levels of immunity. So if someone penetrates the first level, they still have to
Mm-hmm.
fight with the second level and the third level before they can actually create some sort of damage to your body.
So, what are the types of immunity, or how do we acquire this immunity?
We have something called immune cells. These are
Right.
physical cells that are going to eat up the infective organism. All the immune cells that are produced, they
Mm-hmm.
actually go to this organ called the thymus, sitting
Mm-hmm.
here. It's only
Mm-hmm.
there in your childhood, and
Right.
basically that is like the immune cell school. They
Right.
all go there to train. Before
Mm-hmm.
that, they're students, and when they graduate, they're all like fully functioning immune cells. So they
Right.
go there to basically train and get ready to fight, kind of thing. And we have
Mm-hmm.
something called antibodies, which are
Right.
basically structures that are secreted by some of these
Mm-hmm.
cells. And the
Mm-hmm.
antibodies are ready made,
Mm-hmm.
personalized, and designed to
Mm-hmm.
fight against a certain disease. So, if you
Mm-hmm.
have antibodies for a particular disease, for example,
Mm-hmm.
chickenpox, now once you have
Right.
chickenpox, you don't get it again, because
Right.
once you've been infected by chickenpox, the
Mm-hmm.
body has made antibodies, and they're all ready and waiting. So,
Mm-hmm.
next time
Mm-hmm.
chickenpox comes into your body, those antibodies are gonna fight it and kill it. No effort, no stress, nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But the same antibodies are not going to be useful against some other disease like COVID. And we have a
Mm-hmm.
general immunity, which is like
Mm-hmm.
the army, which is whoever comes from the other side, we're going to fight them and we're going to kill
I
them.
did.
General immunity is inbuilt, since
Mm-hmm.
we are babies. When
Right.
you're a kid, it's quite weak, it's not very strong, which is why kids get sick very often.
Mm-hmm.
And as you grow older, it gets stronger. So when you're born, your
Mm-hmm.
mom's antibodies, the diseases
Right.
she has fought against her whole life, she gives some
Mm-hmm.
of them to you, free trial for 6 months.
Right.
So for the first 6 months, you're relatively protected because your mom's antibodies are in your body,
Right.
and which is why we want to get the vaccination done. After that
Mm-hmm.
is when the baby starts to get sick more and more often, because the antibodies are now not there.
Mm-hmm.
And then every time this baby is exposed
Mm-hmm.
to the diseases, they get a little sick, and then the body
Mm-hmm.
makes antibodies. So next time the same disease comes back, they don't get sick
Right.
again. right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That is the principle behind immunization. It is so important to get your vaccinations. It's important to
Mm-hmm.
get them early on in your childhood. As per the chart, the vaccination chart is prepared in that way for a reason. So it's
Mm-hmm.
important you get your vaccines at the right time, so
Mm-hmm.
that you get free protection from all these diseases without having to suffer.
So, how does autoimmune diseases come into this?
People now, autoimmunity is quite self-explanatory. It means the immune
Right.
system, which is supposed to fight for you against
Mm.
other things, is now turning around and fighting against you. This can happen for many reasons. An
Mm-hmm.
answer that a lot of people don't want to hear, unfortunately, is genetics. If it's there in your genes, if something is coded for in your genes,
Mm-hmm.
it's not the only thing that causes this. There are a lot of environmental factors also that play a role here. But for the
Right.
most part, if you carry the genes for these autoimmune diseases,
Mm-hmm.
more likely than not, you are going to get it. It goes in families. So if your mom had some kind of autoimmune disease, then you are more likely to get it. And the interesting part here is, it may
Mm-hmm.
not be the same disease that your mom had. It may be another
Right.
kind of autoimmune disease. So autoimmune
Right.
disease, they run in packs.
Right.
So your
Okay.
mom may have had some other kind of disease. You may have
Mm-hmm.
some other kind of disease, but they're all autoimmune diseases. But sometimes just having the genes is not enough. You have to have environmental triggers also. So
Mm-hmm.
sometimes what happens, there is this phenomenon that we say is called molecular mimicry.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, as in,
Right.
um, now some bacteria or virus or something is attacking your body. Okay, and
Mm-hmm.
as I said, now your body makes antibodies towards that particular thing, like I said. So there's a young child who is going to the zoo for the first time, and this kid, for the first time in his or her life, sees a lion.
Mm-hmm.
The lion is just chilling there, no issues, and this kid is like, huh, there is some animal there. But
Right.
imagine now this lion just gets up and starts roaring and jumps on top. Every time now in the future
Mm-hmm.
this kid sees a lion,
Mm-hmm.
the kid is gonna be scared, like really
Right.
scared,
Yeah,
right?
of course. Mm.
Now what happens in the body is, ki something attacks you,
Mm-hmm.
your body remembers it, it takes a picture of it. Okay, and
Mm-hmm.
next time that thing comes back, the body attacks it. Cool,
Right.
simple. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
next time that lion comes, the kid will know to go back, or run away.
Right. Right.
Which the kid was not born with this knowledge, the kid now knows it.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Now what happens is, some person wears a
Mm-hmm.
mask of a lion.
Mm-hmm.
Is not really a lion. He's wearing a
Mm-hmm.
mask of a lion, but this
Mm-hmm.
kid is still scared.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now
Mm-hmm.
what happens sometimes is, when some pathogen, some bacteria, virus is attacking the body,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes certain proteins that are present in this pathogen, they are
Mm-hmm.
quite similar to proteins which already exist in our body. And this can be in
Mm-hmm.
specific places. It can be,
Mm-hmm.
in your heart. It can be on, some joints. Or
Mm-hmm.
it can basically be anywhere in your body, but it's very
Mm-hmm.
similar to that protein of the
Mm-hmm.
thing that has just attacked you. So now, the antibodies are now built up against this thing that has attacked you, and they're
Mm-hmm.
just chilling. Now, what happens? This particular structure in your body has a similar structure to the thing that has attacked you, and your body
Mm-hmm.
misrecognizes it and thinks
Mm-hmm.
that, oh my god, all over the heart, this pathogen is
Mm-hmm.
sitting there. What am I
Right.
doing? I have to go and attack it.
Mm-hmm.
So, your body, without knowing, is attacking itself. So now what
Right.
happens is, your body's immunity is either attacking a part of your body, or
Mm-hmm.
the whole of your body. So that
Mm-hmm.
broadly classifies autoimmune diseases into two parts, where
Right.
it can be targeted organ, as in, if you have that kind of a disease, only one organ of your body is not functioning properly,
Right.
the rest of it is fine.
Mm.
And these things are usually easy to manage, don't have
Right.
that much effect on your lifestyle. compared to the systemic diseases.
So, like, what are some of the examples?
So the most common one, and I'm talking with respect to the Indian population, the most common one is something I am sure every single person has seen or is related to or has,
Mm-hmm.
is autoimmune thyroid disease. This could
Right.
be, for the technical terms, I would say Hashimoto's thyroiditis or Graves'
Mm-hmm.
disease. So this is where the immunity is actually attacking your thyroid gland. So everything else is
Mm-hmm.
fine. Your
Mm-hmm.
immunity is attacking your thyroid gland. Your immunity destroys your thyroid gland, and
Mm-hmm.
depending on the stage of disease or the type of disease, you will have to
Mm-hmm.
take treatment for over functioning or under functioning thyroid. When it comes to uh, brain, like nerves, there is a
Okay.
protective coating over the nerves. Sometimes
Mm-hmm.
your immune system destroys that, and
Right.
that protective, it's like an insulation over these electrical wires, copper wires that we see. So
Right.
it's attacking the insulation, and now your
Mm-hmm.
nerves are not functioning properly, and that
Mm-hmm.
is what happens in multiple sclerosis,
Mm-hmm.
which is a disease that affects your brain and your nerves all over your body. The more common one is, which is kind of localized, and also, but it is, in my opinion, it is more of a systemic disease, is rheumatoid arthritis.
Right. Mm.
So that is where your immunity is affecting your joints, and it
Mm.
destroys your joints
Mm-hmm.
beyond repair.
Mm-hmm.
So in that way, it is a local disease, but it has many other systemic ways it affects the body. The most
Mm-hmm.
publicized example, I would say, is lupus, SLE,
Mm-hmm.
systemic lupus
Mm-hmm.
erythematosus. Everyone would have, there is some celebrity who has it, or it's on TV. Lupus can present in any way. It wears like 1,000 masks, and it can come as anything. It's very, very hard to diagnose, as in clinically diagnose lupus, because it
Mm-hmm.
can present in any way. People can come with arthritis, people can come with blood issues, anemia, low blood levels. People can come with brain issues, vasculitis of your brain vessels. People can come with mood problems, as in people
Yeah.
can present with psychiatric issues
Mm-hmm.
caused by lupus. People can come with miscarriages, um, anything,
Kidney
basically
problems,
anything,
skin
kidney problems, of
issues.
course,
Yeah.
yeah, anything from top to bottom, you name it. And people with lupus can have issues with these things, and they can present with these complaints for the first time. So
Mm-hmm.
clinically, it is very hard to diagnose,
Mm-hmm.
but a large number of people have it. So there's a lot of research that has been done in this, and relatively,
Mm-hmm.
we have better treatments now. But that's another example. Skin diseases, psoriasis is an autoimmune disease. A lot of people have psoriasis, the rashes over their body, and that can also have, effects over other organs.
Mm-hmm.
Another very common disease, type 1 diabetes, the little kid who
Yeah.
has diabetes. This is where the immunity is working against the insulin producing cells of the pancreas. So it
Mm-hmm.
destroys the cells that produce insulin in your body, and
Mm-hmm.
by the time you are, say, 6, 7, or sometimes older, the insulin in your body is gone, it's dried up. And
Mm-hmm.
that's why people with type 1 diabetes have to take insulin their whole life. So these are
Right.
some common examples. There are, like, I think 80, 70
Mm-hmm.
to 80 known autoimmune diseases. There are many different
Mm-hmm.
kinds, but these are some of the common ones.
Like the way you started telling about examples, you were saying that you would know somebody's mom or aunt
Hmm.
or sister,
Hmm.
someone who has these diseases. So something that is very peculiar about autoimmune conditions is that it's majority, like mostly prevalent in women, right? I think even if they are not overtly showing the disease, either they're carriers or they are the ones who have the disease, right? So
Yeah.
is there a reason for that?
That's a very interesting question, because it is actually true. Apart now, I would like to preface this by saying that there is a small minority of certain diseases that are more prevalent in men. But
Mm-hmm.
apart from that, majority of the autoimmune diseases are seen first of all in women,
Mm-hmm.
second of all in women in the reproductive age group. So one of the reasons why it's more common in women is because of the wonderful hormones and the wonderful mood swings and all the wonderful things that come with these hormones.
Yeah.
Um, Most of the time, it is estrogen.
Mm-hmm.
And now estrogen is great. It gives you great skin. It gives you, strong bones. It
Protects your
protects your
heart.
heart, Yeah,
Yeah.
crazy. I mean, they're like men dying with heart attacks and women are just chilling and, being so unhealthy, but their hearts are protected. It's all estrogen. So estrogen does a lot of wonderful things, but estrogen is also another reason why women are prone to more autoimmune diseases, because the whole evolutionary purpose of a female is to reproduce. So to reproduce, you need to be at your fittest,
Mm-hmm.
right? You cannot grow a human being and then put it out and keep growing them and keep putting them out if you are not healthy.
Right.
So the job of estrogen, in short, is to keep you healthy. So it protects your heart, protects your bones, gives you nice skin to make you attractive, for mating purposes. But then, and this is all evolutionary speaking, please,
Mm-hmm.
this is no kind of, uh, I don't even,
Feminist
it's just,
male
yes,
hating going on here.
yes, yes. It is all evolutionary purpose. So what happens is it also boosts your immunity, because
Okay.
you
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't be getting sick when you should be having babies.
Right.
So when estrogen is boosting your immunity,
Mm-hmm.
thoda sa extra, if that
Mm.
happens, it's
Mm-hmm.
autoimmune disease, because your
Mm.
immunity gets really strong and looks for
Right.
stuff to attack. Like it peaks somewhere around your 20s, 30s, and
Mm-hmm.
you stay in that peak until you're 40, and then it goes down, and you
Mm-hmm.
hardly see autoimmune diseases in children, with an example of type 1 diabetes, of course.
Right.
You hardly see autoimmune diseases in older people.
Mm-hmm. Like, what are some of the things that you, as general public and as a doctor on the other side, you should be on the lookout for? Like, when a patient presents to you with these things, you have to include autoimmune conditions in your differentials.
Mm, mm. So I am particularly sensitive to diagnosing autoimmune diseases for many
Mm-hmm.
reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, One of them is, when I was doing my residency, it was my first independent complex case diagnosis. We see a
Okay.
lot of diabetes, heart attack, blah blah blah, same
Mm-hmm.
things. But
Mm-hmm.
sometimes a patient walks in and you have no idea what's going on. But then
Right.
you take your time to talk to
Mm-hmm.
them, get a good history, and get the required blood tests. And if you do it by yourself and
Mm-hmm.
it's like a complicated case, then it's for me, I was very proud of myself when I did that for the
Yeah.
first time.
Mm-hmm.
But I think this is something everyone should be aware of, because it's much more common than we think.
Right.
There are a lot of rare autoimmune diseases, but there are a lot of them that are common also.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the common symptoms that we need to be sensitive about as doctors, or that the patients
Mm-hmm.
need to be aware about and not dismiss them, because these
Mm-hmm.
are very easily dismissed. So
Mm-hmm.
the most common one is fatigue,
Right.
just plain old being tired. But it's
Mm-hmm.
not, you come back after a long shift at work and then you're tired. It's not like that. It's
Mm.
you're tired
Mm.
all the time. You wake up in the morning, you're tired.
Mm.
You go to work, you're tired. You sleep, you're tired. No matter how much you sleep, you're always tired.
Mm.
So fatigue is one of the most common symptoms, and it's
Mhm.
not like this is just happening for a few days. This is going
Mm.
on for months or years. Most of
Right.
the times when these people come,
Mhm.
they give a history which spans a few years.
Right.
Sad but true.
Mm.
Fatigue, accompanying fatigue are its best friends. Whole body is hurting.
Mm.
Everything hurts.
Mm.
What hurts? No, everything hurts.
Right.
That usually always comes with fatigue,
Right.
right? And
Yeah.
another best friend is low mood.
Mhm.
So the low mood is could be because of many reasons. One thing is, if your body hurts all the time, if you're always tired, of course you will be feeling a low mood, man. You're not gonna
Right.
feel happy every day. So
Right.
one reason is it's because of the symptoms. Another
Mhm.
reason is independently itself. many
Mm-hmm.
autoimmune diseases are associated with mood disorders.
Mm-hmm.
Most commonly, it's depression.
Mm-hmm.
So both of these are working together and they're just trying to pull you down.
Mm-hmm.
These three are the ones which we see most commonly. Apart from
Mm-hmm.
that, a lot of people have joint pain. Now, doesn't mean you have
Mm-hmm.
arthritis, doesn't mean your joints are swollen or anything. It's just joint pain.
Mm-hmm.
The whole body pain that we said,
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of a joint pain component over there.
Mm-hmm.
Apart from that, you can get organ specific symptoms, depending on what are the organs that are affected. You can experience issues with weight gain slash weight loss depending on what is happening inside. You're not trying to gain weight, you're not trying to lose weight, but these things are
Mm-hmm.
happening for no particular reason. Now, another
Mm-hmm.
important thing I forgot to mention was, as a whole, these symptoms of autoimmune diseases,
Mm-hmm.
they're there for a few weeks or a few months, and then they
Mm-hmm.
just go, and you're fine.
Right.
You
Right.
feel okay. So
Uh-huh.
someone, there's a woman who's sitting at home and she's unable to do anything. She's unable to
Mm-hmm.
work. She's unable to
Mm-hmm.
do her activities of daily living, and she has all of
Mm-hmm.
these body pain and tiredness and you know everything basically that I was talking about. And she decides ki okay, now it's been 3 months and now I'm going to see the doctor, and she wakes up the
Mm-hmm.
next morning and everything is gone.
Right. Mm.
Suddenly she's feeling better, she's feeling fresh, she's able to do everything, and she's like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
was this in my head?
Mm.
Was I imagining all this? Was this because
Right.
of some project deadline that I had that I was feeling
Mm-hmm.
stress? Or
Mm-hmm.
what I have, is it just depression or anxiety? Because all of these can be symptoms of depression or anxiety,
Right. Exactly.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm.
most of these symptoms are present as a whole in most of the autoimmune diseases.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first thing to arise. These are the first symptoms to show up, and they keep
Mm-hmm.
coming and going for months and years together until
Mm-hmm.
the person who comes to me usually says it's been happening in total for many years, but
Mm-hmm.
this particular time it's been going on for so many months, and that is like an instant alarm for me ki, yes, this could be
Mm-hmm.
something that's autoimmune.
One of the things that I realized is, again, my knowledge about autoimmune diseases and the whole body in general might be less. So when we come across something which is bilateral, for example, that is one of the things that sets off this alarm inside me. Ki this is something systemic, because you cannot have a localized thing that affects both sides.
True.
How do you, like, what are the some of the diagnostic things, like what should someone do to figure out if it's an autoimmune condition?
Okay. The first thing someone should do is see a doctor. Please do
Mm-hmm.
not dismiss your symptoms. That many of the people are said ki, you look fine to me. I don't
Ah,
think there's anything wrong. Or maybe you're
right.
stressed.
Mm-hmm.
Or, maybe you should exercise more or drink more water. And,
Mm-hmm.
maybe that's why this is happening. So that's a whole
Mm-hmm.
other topic that I think is very important to discuss, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
But other people are going to be dismissing these symptoms because you can't see it. These are all invisible symptoms. No
Mm-hmm.
one can see the tiredness apart from a
Mm-hmm.
skin rash, I guess, but no one
Mm-hmm.
could see anything else. No one's going to see how
Mm-hmm.
tired you are. No one's going to see how depressed you are.
Mm-hmm.
No one's going to see the joint pain.
Mm-hmm.
The problem with these invisible symptoms is other people are going to dismiss you.
Right.
The real issue here is when other people dismiss you, you tend to dismiss yourself.
Mm.
Maybe that is true. Maybe I am
Mm.
stressed out. Maybe I
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't be making such a big deal about this because
Right.
everyone has to work the same job.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone has to do so and so work. So
Mm-hmm.
everyone has to take care of their kids. I should just, adjust and
Adjust. Yeah.
I should just adjust. That's one thing I hear all the time. I should just adjust. The worst thing that could happen is you realize that there is no autoimmune disease and you probably have some other issue like some vitamin deficiencies or low blood or something which could be
Mm-hmm.
causing these symptoms. But
Right.
on the off chance that something really is wrong, you need to
Mm-hmm.
know so that It
Mhm.
can be treated sooner, it can be managed sooner, and most importantly, so that you don't have to suffer. You need to see a doctor, you need to see a
Mhm.
good doctor.
Mhm.
So, say you're someone who sees a doctor and your doctor thinks you may have an autoimmune disease. In that
Mhm.
case, there are many different kinds of tests, and unfortunately, these tests are expensive. They are
Mhm.
time consuming, they take a long time for the reports to show up, and it's usually
Mhm.
a multi tiered testing. As in, what we do is that we
Mhm.
send a first set of tests, and depending on what comes positive, what comes negative, a second set of tests, a third set of tests is required to make sure.
Mhm.
And this can seem frustrating, but it's very important because autoimmune diseases cannot be cured, they have to be managed your whole life.
Right.
So it is surely satisfying to get a diagnosis, but this
Mhm.
diagnosis is also a label that's gonna be on your head the whole time.
Mhm.
You are gonna have to deal with it your whole life. So
Mhm.
we have to think 100 times before sticking that label on your head and saying that you have so and so disease, because the implications are big and they're lifelong.
Mhm.
So if you, as a patient, if you get frustrated that your doctor is asking for a lot of tests, and what happens, especially in India, is
Mhm.
someone gets advised a lot of tests, especially if it's in
Mhm.
the initial phase.
Mhm.
They're like, I'm not going back there. I'm going to someone
Right.
else. And that
Mhm.
someone else gives them, 2, 3 injections, and then they suffer for longer, and then they're advised these tests again. And maybe they
Mhm.
get the first set of tests, but now they don't want to get the
Mhm.
second set of tests.
Mhm. Mhm.
Doctors are money minded, and I don't want to
Right.
spend so much money. And
Mhm.
there may be some amount of truth to that in some, special situations. But for the
Mhm.
most part, before putting such a big label on your head, we want to
Mhm.
know for sure what's going on. And in many
Mhm.
cases, the tests that we advise will also help pinpoint the kind of treatment that you need. Most of the time, these are all blood tests.
Mhm.
Sometimes the diagnosis has to be confirmed by taking a sample from a particular tissue. This could be an
Right.
affected skin rash, this could be a salivary gland, this could be,
Mhm.
a part of your kidney,
Mhm.
whatever.
Mhm.
Sometimes there is an invasive test, that means you have to take a sample of a certain tissue to confirm.
So I think it is important that what you said, like it's a multi-tiered diagnostic
Hmm.
testing that is required,
Yeah,
because you go through the initial phase and it doesn't really conclusively give you a diagnosis, and you get frustrated. Are how much more money am I supposed to spend on all this? Maybe they're
yeah,
just making us go in circles. So I think
yeah,
it's important that people understand. I mean, we know how expensive the tests are, unfortunately. But
yeah,
actually speaking, it's not a very, very common diagnosis to have an autoimmune condition, right? So the reagents and even for the labs, all these tests are expensive to run
yeah.
it on just a few samples and stuff.
Mm.
Not a lot of labs do all the tests also.
True.
So a lot of
Exactly.
times you have to outsource these tests. That is also one of
Yeah.
the reasons it takes longer, because
Hmm.
your lab has to send it to another lab and then it has
Yeah.
to come back and all those things. Okay, so what about treatment? So you said that this is something that you are probably going to have to live with throughout your life.
Hmm.
And so, how do you approach a patient once you diagnose them, like for treatment? How do you go about it?
Okay. So this we can broadly divide into two types. Now, when it comes to the local diseases, as I said before, say the thyroid disease or type 1 diabetes,
Mm-hmm.
the autoimmunity has destroyed its target organ.
Mm-hmm.
So immunity is fine now, it's not attacking anything else. The
Mm-hmm.
target organs, say the insulin producing cells of the pancreas or the thyroid gland, it's gone, it's dead,
Right.
or it's affected in some other way.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in case of hypothyroidism, where the thyroid gland is gone,
Mm-hmm.
or in type 1 diabetes, when the insulin producing cells are gone,
Mm-hmm.
we don't have to fear the immunity anymore because its damage is done and it's retired.
Right.
So, what
Mm-hmm.
we do is we just have to supplement the thing that is missing. As
Right.
in thyroid disease, we supplement a
Mm-hmm.
thyroid hormone, the tablet that you take early in the
Mm-hmm.
morning. For
Mm-hmm.
hypothyroidism, let me clarify. The
Mm-hmm.
tablet that you take in the morning is a thyroid hormone. It's supplementing the thyroid hormone that is not being produced in your body because you don't have that gland.
Right.
So
Right.
these are, quite frustrating, but still relatively simple treatments for the local autoimmune diseases.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when it comes to the bigger, badder ones, the
Mm-hmm.
treatment is quite challenging. It needs to be balanced with
Mm-hmm.
its side effects. It needs to
Mm-hmm.
be, as much as possible, it needs to be targeted to every individual and the particular thing that is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So, as a whole, your immunity is high, you want to lower it.
Mm-hmm.
Simple. Your
Right.
immunity is overactive,
Mm-hmm.
you want to suppress your immunity. And
Mm-hmm.
so, the mainstay of treatment that we have for autoimmune diseases is immunosuppressants.
Mm-hmm.
These are drugs of different kinds which
Mm-hmm.
are suppressing your immunity, keeping your
Mm-hmm.
immunity suppressed for the period of usage. As
Mm-hmm.
in, as long as you're taking the medications, the symptoms will be
Yeah.
suppressed.
Mm-hmm.
Stop taking it, your immunity will go up again and your symptoms will flare up. That is
Right.
why most of these are lifelong treatments. Now, in
Mm-hmm.
this, the most common, the cheapest, and the easily available one is steroids.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I am someone who believes steroids have been unfairly villainized in our society.
Mm-hmm.
Don't take steroids. It does this, it does that. It does. It does. Steroids do have a lot of side effects. But for someone, especially in the beginning, someone who has autoimmune disease, you give them that first shot of steroid. And I have not seen that happiness on a lot of people
Mm-hmm.
because give it less than 24 hours, they're all smiling and they're like, where has this injection been my whole life? It's like, my eyes were closed and now they're open. It makes
Mm-hmm.
that much of a difference and they are
Mm-hmm.
very, very effective. The
Mm-hmm.
problem with steroids is there is a time factor limitation here because if you
Mm-hmm.
use them in high doses for a very long time, they break down your whole body.
Mm-hmm.
They just slowly age and kill everything. It gives you high blood pressure, gives you diabetes, it weakens your bones become so brittle and they can like break anytime. you know
Mm-hmm.
uh, it messes with your body fat. A lot of people have weight gain on it, and this multitude. The side effects of steroids is probably a 10 mark question we had in mbbs, I think. Yeah, you can write pages and pages about the side effects, and that is true. But in these cases, you need the steroids to regulate your immunity. Unfortunately, in people who cannot afford for the treatment, this is the beginning and the end. These people are going to
Mm-hmm.
have to deal with the side effects of steroids because steroids are very cheap, relatively
Mm-hmm.
cheap, and
Mm-hmm.
this is the only course of treatment that they can be on, that they can
Mm-hmm.
afford.
Mm-hmm.
So, if we move past the steroids, we have steroid sparing agents. These
Mm-hmm.
are things that work like steroids a little bit, but they don't have that effect,
Mm-hmm.
all those bad effects. So, we
Right.
start with steroids generally,
Mm-hmm.
and then when the steroids have started working and they feel better, we have
Mm-hmm.
already started with our steroid sparing agents, or we start them a little later. And then by
Mm-hmm.
the time they start acting, the steroids have already worked. So the
Mm-hmm.
symptoms are much better now. And then you continue
Mm-hmm.
with these steroid sparing agents.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this was, information that we learned during MBBS. Now, what
Mm-hmm.
has happened is because of the research, we have had a
Mm-hmm.
lot of advances in this field,
Mm-hmm.
and this is where the monoclonal antibodies come in, or
Mm-hmm.
targeted therapy. Now,
Mm-hmm.
these drugs have very strange names, uh,
Mm-hmm.
almost impossible to remember the names unless you are prescribing these agents on a daily basis. And
Right.
even if you read them, sometimes it's so hard to read their names. You fumble here, all the numabs and mumabs and
No,
all those.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
So,
remember in pharmacology, it used to be so much fun
I
to read those names.
know, yeah. It stops being funny when you have to write them in your exam because you don't
Yeah,
know which
true.
mab comes in which disease. It's so
Yeah,
hard. It's still hard. It doesn't get easy. It gets easier only and only if you're prescribing these things on a daily basis. Otherwise,
right.
it's still hard.
Right.
So, if as a patient, if you have reached the stage of monoclonal antibodies, generally you are already under care of a specialist,
Mm-hmm.
because as physicians we don't prescribe this,
Right.
because these are incredibly targeted, and you have
Mm-hmm.
to monitor them. There are a lot of side effects from these also.
Mm-hmm.
But what they do is, when you do your multitude of tests, you find
Mm-hmm.
specific antibodies or specific things that are wrong.
Right.
You have these monoclonal antibodies as things which are specific treatments to go target that specific defect that you have.
Right.
So it doesn't touch anything else.
Mm-hmm.
It's like those GPS wala missiles, it just goes in that GPS location.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's how it works. Um, Incompetence in other general knowledge, but um, it's sort of like that. It goes and
Uh-huh.
attacks only that particular thing.
Mm-hmm.
So this kind of treatment is very effective when you have a single defect or a single, kind of antibody that is going wrong. This is
Mm-hmm.
very effective treatment, and it's really good, and you get all the good effects without suffering from a lot of side effects.
Mm-hmm.
And since it's not, technically suppressing your entire immunity,
Mm-hmm.
otherwise you should be fine.
Mm-hmm.
The problem with these agents is if you have multiple defects, for these
Right.
people it's slightly harder to give
Mm-hmm.
specific agents because there are many things that are going wrong. But as a whole, all of this immunosuppressants, or to be more accurate, immunomodulation,
Mm-hmm.
when you're like modifying the response of your immunity, all of these have a lot of side effects, and most of these are related to the fact that your immunity is not doing its job.
Right.
Your immune system is supposed to fight off infections and fight off bacteria and viruses. So, as a rule of thumb, most of these people get sick a lot with
Mm.
infections,
Right.
a lot of viral infections,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of infections we generally don't see in other people, because there's
Mm-hmm.
right now on my skin there's like lots of bacteria right there, but it's not causing any kind of disease because it's
Right.
not capable enough of causing disease in me. But
Mm.
if I were to say be taking some sort of immunomodulator or immunosuppressor, that
Mm-hmm.
means the same bacteria that's sitting and playing on my hand can
Mm-hmm.
easily cause some kind of disease in me.
Right.
So
Mm-hmm.
these are diseases we don't usually see in people with normal immunities.
Mm-hmm.
And some of these diseases, if we see them, if we see certain kind of infection, we know that this person is immunosuppressed. It's
Mm-hmm.
kind of like classical. So that's a big side effect of some of these things. But on the bright side, there are a lot of new developments also that are happening. So one of the most exciting things that we have right now is something called CAR T cell therapy. It
Mm-hmm.
was originally, done for cancer. It was a
Mm-hmm.
part of cancer research and used to cure cancer.
Mm-hmm.
It's called, I think, CAR, chimeric antigen uh, receptor something.
Mm-hmm.
You can find that later.
Right.
So the CAR T cell therapy was originally designed for the treatment of cancer. It has shown a
Mm-hmm.
lot of benefit in people with lupus, to such
Mm-hmm.
an extent that it could probably eliminate the need for lifelong treatment.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
So that's
Right.
a big deal for autoimmune disease,
Yeah.
because most of these
Right.
treatments, even though they're effective, they have to be taken for your lifetime, or at least
Mm-hmm.
restarted when you get when you're out of remission, or you get like
Mm-hmm.
flares or something like that. But
Right.
that should help with that. People are also working on stuff like inverse vaccines.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Okay.
like when we were discussing vaccines, remember how
Mm-hmm.
it's helps your body fight off stuff. Now, inverse
Right.
vaccines, I'm not sure how they work exactly, but
Mm-hmm.
they kind of retrain your body's immunity to
Okay.
no, 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 ignore that, don't react
Oh.
to that, and don't get
Oh.
angry, don't fight that. Yeah, it's
Right.
basically retraining your immunity. And there are some other targeted approaches that we have. It's new monoclonal antibodies targeting new proteins. So all of these advances are happening.
Mm-hmm.
Looks good. The future, in this way, the future looks good.
Mm-hmm.
So let's hope these are available, because another really bad thing about these monoclonal antibodies and targeted approaches are they're very expensive.
Right.
They're very expensive, as in you or me, people who, are earning not great, but at least decently, even we would
Mm-hmm.
have a big problem to afford these.
Right.
It's that expensive. So right now, only the upper echelon of society would be able to access these drugs.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard, but then it's there. Something is there. That's all we have
Mm.
to be happy with right now.
Mm. Nice. Okay. I think we covered everything. Did we leave? I don't think we missed anything. I think we covered a lot,
I
actually.
think so. There were a few things I wanted to say.
Mm.
Um, for people who are suffering from this stuff, there are a lot of treatments available, but I just wanted to say that focusing on your own health in ways that you can,
Mm.
by eating well and treating your body right, and exercising regularly, I think that goes a long way,
Mm-hmm.
because the drugs do work and they do the majority of the heavy lifting. But if your body is working in optimal condition,
Mm-hmm.
otherwise, you get
Mm-hmm.
better response to treatment, you tolerate side effects better,
Mm-hmm.
and you tolerate the disease better, so
Mm-hmm.
that improves your quality of life.
Right.
So I would say that don't stop focusing on you. I've seen people who give up, and I get it. I mean, it's hard. It seems like giving up is the only option that you have. You
Mm-hmm.
just take the medicine and survive, but not live.
Mm.
And I
Mm.
would say, if there is any way that you could go beyond that, and somehow, yoga, meditation, therapy, of course,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
eating healthy, exercising regularly, drinking enough water. I mean, it
Mhm.
sounds like dumb basic stuff, but it's
Right.
way effective. It helps a lot. It's
Mhm.
supporting. It supports you such that you get the best out of the medicine that you're getting, and it leaves
Mhm.
out the worst. So you're
Mhm.
much more likely to recover better, have a better quality of life, have a better response to treatment, if
Mhm.
you are taking care of yourself. So that's just one thing I wanted to say, because I've seen far too many people who've just given up and made the disease their identity. Um,
Mhm.
I know I don't understand much of that journey because I've not been in that position, but
Mhm.
if it's possible to take care of yourself, to get out of that mindset, then I would suggest it's a very positive thing to do, because it helps a lot.
Right. Nice.
Mm,
Thanks, yeah. Thanks for this conversation. I think not just people listening to this, I think my eyes have opened up to a lot of things. I didn't know a lot of things that you were talking about. So I am really happy. And like medicine is like such a it's so interesting when you think about it. Like every day you learn something new. It's just
I love it.
amazing to be in this field because sometimes when things don't go your way, when you lose a patient or something that you do doesn't work, those days are really bad too. Like it really
Yeah.
gets to you. You're like, what are you doing? Are you really satisfied with what you're doing? Are you able
Is
to
it worth it?
um, yeah, is it worth it? All those years that you spend studying, all the stress that you take for your patients, because you take this back with you, right? Like
Yeah,
once you're a doctor, you see a patient in the clinic that stays in your mind throughout the day. You're
it
thinking
does.
about it in your sleep. Like
Mm,
it just takes over your personal life in
mm,
ways I never imagined.
mm,
So sometimes it is daunting, but then the other times I think it's also very rewarding and so
mm.
interesting and
It
so
does.
exciting.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that is what I want to achieve through this because it's not just about giving all this medical knowledge to the general public. I also want to reignite that passion in me more than anybody else. I'm doing this for me because
You did it for
once you're
me
out of
also. I am
once
also
you're out
reignited.
that's right. So once you're out of like that student life where you're actually learning so many things, once you're
Mm,
out and you're just in your
yeah.
boring, like, day-to-day job, you tend to forget how magical this world actually is.
Yeah.
So thank you for this. Thank you for taking out time from your very, very busy schedule. Okay, that's it. See you guys soon in the next video. Hope you guys learned something from this. Take care, everybody. Bye bye.
Bye.